Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Office Hours. I'm so blessed to be here with my best friend, Dr. Sean Dill, and a close competitor for that role or space is my new friend, the new double B in my life, the incredible Bart Berkey. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me as co-host because there's not enough white men, middle-aged men in the world doing things. It's good to have you guys here.
I'm Asian.
You are crazy. You crazy Asian.
And I am middle-aged, so yeah.
You're middle-aged, exactly. But good thing for Bart that grass doesn't grow on a busy street. But nonetheless, he is here to be subjected to my bad humor and abuse. But we are blessed also to have many friends come on. And I have a hard time introducing this guy all the time. But he is a legend in the sports world of AI. And his name goes along with my book. I tell people all the time, don't do business with dicks, but do it with hard dicks. And my friend Hardik Jagda leading the way, the CEO founder of Proximity and the foundation of Proximity. Hardik Jagda, welcome back to Office Hours, my brother. How are you?
I'm amazing, David. Thank you so much for the warm introduction. We're just exchanging some jokes, and I'm glad you started with a different one today.
Yes, I'm coming up with new material every single day, especially about hard dicks. And more importantly, you're my favorite hard dick I have in my life, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Viagra, and thank you, hard dick. Most importantly, Sean, not even a giggle out of you yet?
I mean, come on.
He doesn't know what to say. All right,
it's the one time we actually have Hardik with us, and you couldn't even stay out of the lane. So I mean,
yeah, I love it. All right, anyway, Hardik, I want to talk to you. You're a leader with the biggest companies in the world with AI implementation. You built your own operating system for AI that can recognize emotions and pick and choose content by emotions in real time and feed that content to people that you feel or data has shown us would be emotionally connected to what's going on, specifically in sports, finding the best play and then instantly feeding the appropriate sponsorship to that play. And it's incredible what's going on. But I want to go to a higher level for our friends on the show that are not world famous experts and aren't working with the biggest companies in the world. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that are just confused. They don't know where to start. They don't know how to apply their AI. And I talk about applying our why. I'm doing a bunch of content about applying our AI. And so I thought bringing you on as a subject matter expert, one of the world's foremost experts on AI. What are the normal entrepreneur, the small business? Where do they start? What should they be doing every day to apply their AI?
I think this is the greatest piece of technology that that has ever been made available to us. So hands down, I think depending on, I'll give you an example. So if you are a services business today, and if you're not running at 90+% margins, then you're doing something wrong. Because there's so much more work that now you can get automated using AI systems, systems that can run all of your operational workflows, that the amount of overhead cost that you had earlier that can be drastically cut down so that your people are focused on doing more of what matters to the business versus what just keeps the lights on. So you give everything to AI to keep the lights on and make sure that your team is spending time on doing the most high ROI activities. And that applies to any small business today, not just the big ones that we work with today.
Sean, Bart, who wants to go next? My best friend or my soon-to-be best friend?
Bart was already queued up. I'll hand it off to you, Bart. You were ready to lead the whole show.
Yeah, no, I like a challenge. No, just curious, Hardik. So what type of elements should they be looking at? So there's a lot of different AI tools out there. So for the entrepreneur that is, running 1 to 5 million as an example, and
Yeah.
understands that they should be automating the workflow, there's so many things that are out there, including, is it called, um, different bots that you can create in Claude bots and in AI tools and Marbleism. But what are what is one good place that they should go to start with?
I think if you are in the 1 to 5 million ARR range as a business, you are pretty much the business still runs because you are running at the moment you stop working, the business stops working, right?
Yeah,
And you are working in the business versus on the business, which is what David talks a lot about. Um, the the benefit of looking at your business through the lenses of AI is that now you can take a step back. You can have certain agentic AI applications that are tailored to the kind of business that you're running today. From a first principles level, like there are only a handful of growth levers in the business. Like as a founder, you know that the most high ROI activity that you can do is be more customer facing, go and talk to 10 more customers every week, 50 more customers every week.
yeah,
The only reason founders are not able to do that is because they are spending so much time on operations that that just ends up eating up all of their day, right?
yeah,
Uh, and there was a time when people would do a lot of outsourcing, and they would hire people outside of the country to outsource some of these jobs. But then again, like when you're working across different time zones, there are different challenges to take care of. And when it comes to agentic AI, there are certain things in in your business which you can absolutely and you should definitely look at automating, which is 80% of the work that you do can be looked at through the lenses of automation. And I know like you get a lot of flack around this that people would say it's not good enough. And we've tried using this tool and that tool, and it's not working out for us. And it doesn't give me the kind of answer that I would give to a customer. But the point is, it's not just about whether this tool works in one shot or not.
hmm,
You need to be able to understand how that works behind the scenes, like how does the tool think and how does it work. Once you
yeah,
understand that, then you're able to query it in a way and you're able to build a workflow in a way where the bulk of the work can be done by the agents,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
can
So
then spend more time focusing on more things that will drive growth for your business instead of things that will just run operations.
right, let AI
Yeah,
handle automated workflows. But for
yeah,
entrepreneurs that are a little bit worried about, oh my gosh, that's cheating. What is one place, without giving away any trade secrets? Because I know you and your team, right? That's what you teach, and
yeah.
you execute, help others execute. Is there one tool that you would suggest people start going to just to begin to understand how AI could help them? One tool,
Cloud code.
Cloud Code.
Yeah,
Wonderful,
yeah.
very cool.
And you don't need to use the terminal for that. So one of the things that they can do is just download the Claude app, and it's a simple web, like a Mac OS application that runs on top of a system. You
Yeah,
can also download Perplexity Computer. That's a very good agentic app that allows you to, if you have to send 50 emails today,
yeah.
you can either sit and write those 50 emails, or you can go to ChatGPT and ask for each one of them. Or you can tell an agent that draft all of these 50 emails, and it would go and draft all those 50 emails if you have given it enough context.
Amazing. So
So
that's a little taste, right? Download the
yeah,
Claude app and
yeah,
look at Perplexity. Awesome.
yeah,
Thank you so
yeah.
much.
Cloud code,
Appreciate it.
awesome. Bring us home, Sean Dill, but make sure you
Well,
mention the event that we're putting on. Don't forget.
what are you talking about? what
In
Dave,
the
tell us about
in
the
the
event
note,
that we're putting on.
yeah, Hardick is putting on an event on April 28th and 29th. It's
Oh,
specifically highlighted in the notes.
I you got it. Well, yes,
Trust me, I'm
you
not
can
doing any
you
events with you. You bore me.
I
I like to
know
make money
my
at my events, right? You're so disciplined in working, you forget to make money. I actually like to make money at my events. Hardick likes to
Yeah.
help people as well. So anyway, if you need some coaching on how to make money, come to Dave Meltzer. If you want to know how to put on a great event and not make money, go to Sean@adaptopreneur.com.
Well, we're doing a New York City workshop coming up here
Yeah.
in Hardick. Before we jump into that, because I definitely want
Yeah.
you to talk about the workshop, but I love that Dave brings on high level experts, and this is an area where for me, it's just been very intriguing to sort of watch this evolution. And I know that Your expertise goes from in the weeds to, even just beyond, what app should I use, but, the builds and really talking about the efficiencies of AI and what it can do, really sort of testing not the limits of AI, but the limits of our human comprehension of what can be done. But as you sit there and you are looking out, what are some of the things that you are seeing in the future that maybe even for you, you understand it's not possible yet, but you see it coming? I even think about for us in the service world, when we're talking about, doctors, lawyers, accountants, but also I think that a time is coming where if I run a very successful HVAC company, that soon the people are going to call because their air conditioner broke. And this is a race, right? First person that can show up is going to earn the business. And then we're going to have AI agents answering the phone, AI agents booking, autonomous cars driving, autonomous bots out to then fix the air conditioner. And this is scary. And on one level, Dave and I had a conversation one night about how even if I worked in HVAC, that potentially strips me of my identity as a human being. And it's such a scary thing to even contemplate. And so one, like as you look out in the future, what do you see like a really big revolutionary change that AI is going to make in our human existence? And two, how do we prep for that, both on a business level, but on a psychological level?
I'll Sean, because you raised the part about services, I'll tell you. So for every dollar that is spent on AI tools or every dollar that is spent on software tools that any big company or small company spends today, 6 is spent on services. So for every dollar that you spend on tools, 6 is spent on services, and there's a big reason behind it, right? Services are by design created to achieve certain business outcomes for the customers that you're working with. Like tools are just merely tools that you use to make a decision, but then services are responsible for delivering the end-to-end outcome. So I think what you'll see over the next few years is like how services will actually transform into the most important thing that is available today. So that's why I think it's the biggest opportunity for entrepreneurs who care about certain industries. It could be on the HVAC side, it could be on a small business side, it could be a big business, but like the industry and the problem statement that they really care about, that they want to work in, that they want to have an impact in, them being responsible for creating that kind of a business outcome for the customers, and then having the necessary automations and tools, like you said, like the first person to show up will be the one who will get the business. So in order to do that, you want to make sure that you are responding to the customer query within seconds, right? And that's the reason why chatbots on websites became that famous. When you would go on a website, instead of you submitting a form, if you can quickly chat with someone, that is a much faster turnaround time, and you get the customer while they're warm. You get the customer while they have that intention to buy, and just being able to do that within seconds instead of waiting for hours until you or someone in your team is available to take that call, like you've lost a business by then. So that's how I would put it. Like the next multi-billion-dollar companies that you'll see coming out of would be companies that are running platforms, but they are disguised as services.
Let me just add to that then for everybody. Hang on, Dave. I'm not done. For everybody who's
time, because Casey's about to leave. He's like, what the fuck is Sean doing? I've been supposed to be on like 8 minutes ago.
Okay, but hang on. I want to remind everybody that on April 28th and 29th, there is a very important event coming up with Hardik and apparently with David Meltzer. And this is for anybody who, as you listen to this conversation, you're like, look, this is all great. I need to apply this. And everybody who is in that situation, let me say, you need to apply this immediately. We're talking about companies doing anywhere between 5 million and 50 million. Your CXOs, senior leaders need to be at this workshop. Nothing more valuable. I don't even care what Hardik's charging. You get David Meltzer for free because the information that Hardik is going to drop on you is well worth your time and your investment. Coming up April 28th, 29th, New York City. Go to proximity.tech/NYC-workshop. Just go to proximity.tech and get on that with Hardik.
Strong finish on Deal. I love you, brother. That's why he's my best friend. Come and join me and Hardik at the New York City workshop, a private in-person 2-day workshop for CXOs and senior leaders of $5 to $50 million companies. Will be there April 28th and 29th. There's a lot to talk about because it's not as obvious as it appears. You could take any situation and you need to harmonize the human experience with AI. You need to apply AI to the human experience, and I think that's where the real money is going to be made with people like us that aren't going to be experts in AI, but we're going to be able to apply AI to a human experience to make it more human. Those who try to rely on AI are going to find big holes, as they already are with autonomous vehicles. You know, I was told by Rory Kataya, another one of my best friends, you know, in 5 years, every car is going to be autonomous. Like, they can't even figure out how to clean a fucking car. You know, people don't want to take the Waymos because they're filthy by noon. And if you leave something, you're fucked. And if you have luggage in the trunk and you forget to say I have luggage in the trunk, the fucker drives away with your luggage. There's so many different issues. And then they're driving through police tape because it doesn't show up on the GPS, and they're killing people or running over dead people behind the police tape. There's so many issues that we have to learn to be more human with AI and apply it. That's why I think everybody should attend to see both sides of the fence from the world's leader in an emotional application of AI, an operating system for the human experience. Hardik, Jagda, all joking aside, thank you as always for bringing it and enlightening us and giving us that tip of Claude Code and what was the name of the other thing?
Perplexity Computer.
Yeah. Perplexity Computer, the chairman of CEO of Proximity Works and chairman of the Proximity Foundation, my good friend Hardik Jagda. Come back and take some more torture from me.
Thank you so much for having me, David.
I'll see you April 28th and 29th. All right. Thank you for your patience, Casey. Casey Fleming's in the house. I'm not sure if I saw Casey in Houston. I just left Houston last night. Did I see you in Houston?
No, I had another thing I could not get out of.
Good choice. But now we get to see each other virtually now that I got home. I want to talk about your book, The Red Tsunami, which is the silent storm killing your freedom. I was just curious, when we write books about freedom, how do you define freedom, Casey?
The opposite of total control and communism. So freedom is based on God gives you your freedom. The Constitution guarantees it. And those rights are being taken away from us every single day, and we don't know it. So the other side of it is total control, where the state owns everything. The state owns all property, all production, and all consumption. That's how I define freedom.
Very good. Bart, what are you thinking?
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit worried because in your book and what you speak of, it's that there are things that are happening that we are not aware of, as you say, the silent things. What can we do about it? Right? If we are overlooking cyber warfare, if we are looking over cognitive warfare and other strategic threats, what can we do about it other than worry?
Well, first, become informed. Your enemy, and you do have an enemy, they don't want three things to happen. Number one, they don't want you to become informed. Hence the book. It's actually not a book. It's a expose, a whistleblower's expose and survival guide. So it's not really a book. So this information had to get out to the people. So your enemy does not want you to become informed. That's the book. They don't want you, if you are informed, they don't want you to unite, and which there's a movement next to the book. And if you unite and have information and knowledge, they don't want you to take action. So those three things are exactly what you're asking. What can we do? Well, you can't do anything if you're not informed first. And then you can't do it alone. So you need to unite. And then as a group, we all can fight this together. So under the Constitution, we're talking about taking our rights back, because the Constitution gives the rights to the people, and the people tells the government what to do. But today, the government tells the people what to do. And it's been getting that way over the past several decades. This is not a political statement. It's not a political book at all. It rides above politics. It's based on counterintelligence. We're part of a global network of over 400 global intelligence experts and subject matter experts. And there's over 20 of those guys that have endorsed the book. So this isn't just me speaking. It's based on counterintelligence. It is not conspiracy. Somebody had to step up. Since COVID, everybody said, what the heck is going on? Can we get somebody to step up and tell us the darn truth? And the answer is nobody would do it. And I am not a book guy, never wanted to do a book, still don't. But that's the only way I could get this counterintelligence out to every American. Every American is on the front lines of this war. It's called unrestricted war. 3 decades ago, the Chinese Communist Party redefined what war is. It's not military to military. That's the final phase that they never want to get into. The phase that you're seeing now, that you're in, which, by the way, incidentally, is World War III. This is what World War III looks like. I know what you're thinking. You're saying, hey, look, we only think in terms of war. You're either in war or out of war. And if you're in war, the military is going to save me. Well, guess what? This is everything but military. And your family and you are on the front lines. COVID. What about COVID-2, COVID-3, and the next crisis? Fentanyl. It's killing double what the government tells you it is. It's killing 150,000 a year. That's the same as World War II, never ending. And it's killing efficiently military-aged young men and women, and it's destroying families. So what that means is we're losing 2 737s every day. Why is that not in mainstream media? Why are you not hearing about that every day? A regional jet, 1/3 the size of one 737, was in the news for three weeks. The DC crash with the regional CRJ. So cognitive warfare. Nobody's telling you what social media, and specifically, not at the exception, but specifically what TikTok is doing to your kids' brains permanently. Yeah. It's destroying their brains. And not only that, all this social media is separating everybody and dividing everyone. Then you've got cyber warfare. You were talking about AI. My background's technology and management consulting. So AI has a dirty side. Okay. And you need to be talking about that and planning for the dirty side, what your enemy's doing with it to disable you, your family, your military, and so on. So every bit of technology can be weaponized against you. In fact, the leader, the biggest threat is the Chinese Communist Party. The directors of the FBI have come out for many years saying the single biggest threat to the future of the United States is the Chinese Communist Party. But we're being distracted right now with the war of the month. And the biggest threat is this unrestricted thing that's going on against your families all day, all night, that people are not aware of. Hence, that's why I wrote the book.
Yeah. Well, Casey, first of all, congratulations on getting to Amazon bestseller already. Well done. And my takeaway, I'm not going to worry, but I'm going to read your book. I will become informed, suggesting that you can unite and then you can take action as an individual. And that's how you can contribute. So I appreciate it. Nice meeting you, Casey.
Same here. Thank you very much. And sorry for the long-winded, but
no, it's good answer.
It's not a simple answer.
Well, Casey, just to wrap us up here, when it comes to the taking action part, look, I think that there's, a good section of the population that, it's easy for us to fall into living in fear. I've got the friends with the tape or the little slider over the camera. For someone like you, Casey, for David, for Bart, and myself, I mean, that's not possible. We can't just not have our cameras, not have our phones. Give me one thing that you want the three of us to do that we could be doing to take action if we're on the front lines to protect ourselves.
There's actually 20 things in the back of the book. Number one, buy the book and make sure everybody in your family gets the book. You have to become informed. You're in the middle of a war. So that's number one. Number two, stop buying Chinese goods and services and stop investing in companies in your 401k and your investment account. Stop investing in companies who are doing business in China, because every dollar you're spending with China is a dollar spent killing our children and taking over. And the plan is the world will be lost within the next 10 years or less. It'll be won or lost. It'll either be all freedom or it'll be communism. And it's backed up 100 ways from Sunday in the book. So number one, buy the book. Number two, stop buying Chinese goods and services and Chinese proxies, which are Hong Kong, Vietnam, where they've got very strong presence. Cambodia is another one. Number three, fly that American flag. We've been trained to think the American flag is dirty, nasty. Think about it. All the things that we hold our society together with, which is family, fathers at the head of the family, religion, all these things are destroyed. And where they've got all of us at each other's throats and they got us panicked. So fly that American flag in defiance of your enemy. Those are the key things that you want to do moving forward. And yeah, keep all your patches on your technology up to date, but it's woefully inadequate today. That yes, we've got to continue to move forward and plan for the next crisis. There are going to be other crises. People want to take your freedom, and they're doing one hell of a job doing it. And you already know it. You already see it. And the point is, you're wondering, how does this all fit together? So I pull the curtain back. I connect the dots so you can decode what's happening today, what's happening in the past, today, and in the future.
So smart. I think it's really important for people to understand when something resonates with you, whether you strongly feel for something, or maybe you strongly feel for a part of something, or maybe you strongly feel against, not just for parts or pieces or all of it. That's when you pick up the book. It's God telling you, hey, this is something you need to be aware of. So when Casey's talking, if you feel strongly about what he's saying, either in favor of or against, or maybe just fearful of it, I suggest you pick up the book. That's the best way. I do research on that which resonates with me. My intuition is my feeling when I hear something. And if I feel strongly, then I go ahead and move forward to get the information, to get informed, to find the guideposts, the ideas and advice. And I take advice like a handful of sand. I hold it, and if it agrees with me, I keep that kernel. And if it disagrees or I don't think it's important, I let it fall through my fingers. You cannot put a value on information, and this is critical information. It is not political information. It is information for you to assess and process and utilize in your own life according to your values and your definition of freedom. I certainly appreciate and look forward to reading it so that I can clarify a lot of the different issues and beliefs that I have, feelings that I have, and information that's non-political, but just factual, and utilizing a guidepost of the things that I think can really help me with my freedom to do what I want, when I want, with who I want, for as long as I want. One of the core components of freedom. Casey Fleming, I'm so bummed I missed you in Houston, but it was great to see you the next day here virtually. I see you and I have the same decorative offices. Everybody pick up the book. As much as we are applying our eye and the red tsunami is coming, and understand how this silent storm is actually taking your freedom away. Thank you so much, Case. We'll have you back.
Thanks, David. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. All right. We got some serious issues today. I kind of taken the humor out of me, but that's all right. I'll bring it back with our friend, CEO at ACE, the Allegiant commercial expert herself. Candace Gaddy is in the house. And
Hey.
Candace.
Hey, guys. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. How are you guys doing today?
We needed you. We need clarity this moment. I'm bored.
I'm your ray of sunshine.
I'm bored, and that beautiful smile just lit up the screen for our show. ACE is a dual platform that provides strategic growth consulting for scaling organizations, and utilizing and understanding scaling it with leaders, not followers, founders, and executives to understand their vision, systems, and of course the relationships that they need, trust, and utilize to sustain growth. Where did you come up with this platform to help organizations scale, number one, and two, to align all of those needed components of growth sustainability?
Well, my background, I've been scaling. I started actually with Dun & Bradstreet and then went on to Fortune 100 companies like Procter & Gamble and Sealed Air and Chiquita. And so in those roles, I quickly realized the bridge between everything, because my career actually started off in finance, was that relationships was the key, right? So how do you bridge and get everyone on a common goal? And so unfortunately, 2018, when I had a stroke and a brain hemorrhage, everything changed for me in my trajectory. And so when I started consulting, not just regular business owners that were startups. I wanted to help businesses scale. And I realized everybody's just out here networking, right? They don't have the systems in place. They're not networking in the right room. So, when we talk about ACE, ACE is Allegiant Commercial Experts. We're your trusted business partner. But our framework around that is aligning your strategy, connecting with the right opportunities, and then making sure that we expand your impact. And in order to do that, we have to be very intentional. And I think a lot of people, when I speak to them about growing their business, everyone is so busy working in their business that they're not working on their business. And so I came out and I said, you know what, we have to be intentional and make sure that people are building this structure with the framework of understanding that when I'm trying to scale my business, I have to make sure not only do I have the right systems in place, but you want to make sure that you have, the key word is leverage. Leverage is how you partnership and scale faster. And so instead of just networking, every room is not your room, and it's okay to recognize that. So how do we intentionally get the right people together that can help each other build together? There's so much division in the country right now. The real goal is how do we break down a lot of these silos and get us back to a place where we actually can help build together. And I think we've gotten away from that in recent years. And so that's kind of where the idea of the platform came from.
Beautiful. Bart, you look
no, I love it. I love the approach, and I'm glad that you are here and that you are healthy and that you recovered and you are now contributing to the success of the culture with companies.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I came from the world of hospitality. Ritz-Carlton had a very, very strong value scale and a very strong culture orientation. So I'm kind of
That was
curious.
me calling, by the way. I was just testing to see if your phone was on.
And we're here. So, Candace, I'm just curious, when you're talking about helping companies scale, what do you see that leaders tend to sacrifice when they're growing? And if it's good or bad, if it's bad, what could they make sure that they don't do? So what do they sacrifice when they're scaling? What have you seen?
I think one word that I think a lot of people disagree with me on is the word of competition. Competition is real, but I think we have to look at it strategically and differently. And competition to me, honestly, because I'm so strong in my faith, guys, my only competition is me. And so when I'm focused on doing the best that I can do, and then from there, divinely partnering and aligning with the right people that are suited to what I'm trying to do, I think that a lot of us are operating in fear, and that word competition often gets, as I know my first assignment that I did at Procter & Gamble was all around a competitive analysis of the other brands. And I think we get so focused on the competition that we lose sight of what's happening internally in our business. And do we have the right people working on the right things, not just the right people, but do we have the system? So a lot of business owners, if you stopped working in your business today, your business would fail. And that should not be the case, right? So how do we get out of that mindset that I have to do everything and put us in a place of strategic growth where we can partner and collaborate and leverage each other's audiences to help us grow together?
Yeah. And so the thing that I wrote down, most of them, what they sacrifice is that they have a fearful perception of the competition, and that distracts them. They're doing SWOT analysis, they're doing competitive analysis instead of focusing on what they can do. And then, as David Meltzer would say, have an abundant mindset that there is plenty to go around. And if we're so worried about the competition, are we spending enough time focusing on what matters, which is our culture? And is our culture, what does it look like on paper compared to what it looks like in practice? Yeah, I love the work that you're doing, Candace. Thank you for sharing.
And I love that you incorporate faith as well, Candace. That's a big component to everything.
Yeah.
Sean, bring us home, my dear friend.
Well, Candace, the word that stuck out to me when you were speaking was alignment, and I love just how you've woven all of this together, because I see that you really are handling a lot of issues that a lot of us in business end up facing, because we can get around very influential and powerful people like Bart and like David, even someone like myself. When I'm at events and I hear all the great things that they're doing, I can fall into the trap of, oh my gosh, I need to do what Bart's doing, or oh my gosh, David's doing this, and I find you should start doing that too. And you talked about alignment. What are some tips that you might have learned along the way that helps keep companies in alignment so that we don't jump track and end up chasing someone else's dream or someone else's goal, and installing systems and people and processes inside of our business that really is not in alignment with what ultimately, to your point, is not the real reason why God put us on this earth to fulfill?
Yeah, I think it's being centered. So David, thank you for acknowledging my faith because that's the core of me. I think when one thing that I've learned to do, and when I was working with business owners and corporate enterprise standpoint, I was always focused on change management and agility. I think that's very important because oftentimes we actually suffocate our goal and our seed, and we're suffocating it because we're holding it too tightly. So giving ourselves the freedom to be agile that, hey, this is what my original goal is. I think so many people look at success as a line, point A to point B. The reality is it's not a line. It's not even a circle, right? You're not going to end up at the same point that you started, right? It's a staircase. So where I am today, I expect to be at a better place tomorrow and next year. And then after that, I need to start all over again. My alignment next year may not look like what my alignment is going to look like this year, just because I should be growing. So that's the concept of growth. And I think when people are not, when they're suffocating that outcome, they lose the concept of what that alignment actually looks like. And so the alignment really has to be centered around the fact of what is my strategic goal of where I'm trying to get to, because sometimes that strategic goal can shift and it can change. And so we want to make sure that when we're aligning our business with whatever that outcome is, and the outcome can be different depending upon the size of your business and what you're trying to grow, that you have the right people around you. And so when you are aligning your business, you want to make sure that we talked about the systems already, the people and the processes, but you also want to make sure internally that your environment is conducive to setting the right alignment of where you're trying to get to. So for me, I know, for instance, when I started my business, I was just doing consulting, trying to help people grow their profitability. And that was because that's what I had always done, right? But God told me that I was intended to build relationships. And when I saw that the city of Charlotte was growing at the speed that it was growing, it pivoted and it shifted. And that's where I started creating this platform where people could actually learn to partner and leverage each other. And so a lot of this opportunity can stay within our city and we can help each other grow together, because oftentimes that alignment looks like, whether it be that competition or it looks like the obstacle that I'm facing. I think a lot of people just really don't even take the pause and the time to say, what is my true goal and what are my true strengths? And I think when you haven't taken that time to do that, you get confused and you don't really quickly realize what your alignment is going to be. And so for me, we do a growth mapping session here at ACE. And that's where we break down where you are today and where you're trying to get to. What are your strengths? What are your opportunities? And that's related not just to you, but also to your entire organization. Where can we put more systems and structure around that? And so when you do that, then you can truly align to what that goal is, not based upon competition, but based upon what your overall objective is for you.
It is her wisdom and faith that's shortening the distance of resistance between your business and your divine direction. She's a devotional leader and a growth expert with strategy and alignment at her core. If you're looking to scale your business and utilize the dummy tax and situational knowledge of an executive leader, a woman of deep faith who teaches other leaders how to grow with clarity, conviction, and purpose, I will tell you, there's no one better than Candice Gaddy. Check her out at Ace for Growth, the number four, ace4growth.com. Candice, promise us you'll come back. Thank you so much for your leadership.
I will. And I will tell everybody on here that's listening, if you go to aceforgrowth.com, number four, as you said, David, /blueprint, I have an executive briefing that can give you the framework of what we talked about today, and would love to have a one-to-one conversation with you.
I
Thank
love
you,
it.
David, for the opportunity.
Of course. Thanks for joining our community. We appreciate you, and we will have you back. The incredible Candice Gaddy, thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.
You got it. All right. Hold on one second. I got to match. I take style tips from Sean Dill. I got my black glasses, my black t-shirt, and my black background. He got white glasses, white t-shirt, and white background. You got any blue glasses? Bart, blue glasses?
I'm finding something just to be able to match a little bit. How's that?
Perfect. All right. We're now our future's so bright. We got to wear shades. What is our takeaway of the day, Bart Berkey?
Yeah, my takeaway is, and thank you, Dave, for including me, and Sean for including me. I realize that I want to ask these types of questions to Sean, and I want to get to know more about your best friend. So, Sean, I will be reaching out because I feel guilty, like we're learning about Casey and all of these other great people, and Candace and in Hardick, but I need to learn more about you. But my takeaway is this: to not be afraid of AI. And what I heard from all of the conversations is that there is going to be a human element always of what we do. And I'm coining it humanality. And David, I'm going to try to trademark that term, humanality. And it aligns, Sean, with what you were talking about, that whether it's an HVAC business or any type of business, there's going to be the human insertion of emotional input, personality, empathy, and care. So I'm not quite as afraid of everything changing. I believe that we need to get better at inserting our human element or the humanality. So that's my first takeaway with Hardik. Second takeaway, if you don't mind, I'll keep on going with Casey. And I loved your analogy, David, that there's stuff out there, and that's the sand that you are grabbing, and that is information. And what resonates will stay in your palm and you research it more. And what doesn't resonate is going to flow out and go back to the earth. Um, I'm curious more than anything else. I want to learn. I do want to be informed. And I was also curious, and I know we ran out of time, because what he was beginning to share seems to be so counterintuitive to what any government would want us to know. I was just wondering if he was facing any backlash against the government. Is he feeling pressure?
I was wondering, because it's kind of, he's advising with the government, and he's, showing how to protect us from other governments. I thought it was very patriotic. So I doubt that at American level that he had some repercussions, because it seemed his purpose was aligned with protecting America and nationalism. But it came to mind, and then I started thinking about it. He advises the FBI. He's advising America. It's non-political, so I doubt he has domestic. But I was curious if there's international. People fall out of buildings if you go against Russia. China, you end up being poisoned somehow. So I'm sure he's not traveling the world feeling good about his safety with his positioning. But I'm very interested in reading that book. I love seeing people's perspective that I may not understand, which is usually when I feel strongly fearful. When it evokes fear, it's because I don't understand it. So that's when I dive in and do research. Sean is an expert researcher as well, and has a great enlightened perception of how to unify people. And he does that in a variety of ways. Sean, I'm curious what your takeaway was.
What a journey today's episode was.
Yeah.
And my takeaway is, I think, very unique. I think I've done this show 114 times now. So we're on episode 889. Is that where we're at right now?
Yeah.
And so that's amazing. And this show was very unique. AI can spark a lot of fear in people. Let me bring Casey on, and I'm like, holy smokes. I mean, it took me a little while to kind of understand what we were at war with, but he's like, we're on the front lines. Like, nobody wants to be at war. And here's my bend of something I've never done. I love that Candace wrapped it up and was so forward with her faith. I think that no matter what you think about the bots, the AI, the war, the cyber warfare, a great reminder that, if you have faith, regardless of your religion, if you tap into your spirituality, if you believe that there is a creator that loves you more than your mother loves you, that we are all being protected and promoted, as David teaches so often. So there's nothing to fear about this AI thing. And there's nothing to fear. Yes, you need to be aware, but you don't need to be fearful if you believe, as Candace so passionately and openly shared in her faith. I think this episode strangely was a call to faith for a lot of people, because there's kind of an awakening with the first two guests of Hardik wasn't scaring us, but he's talking about a topic that a lot of us don't really know as much as he does. Like, he's a subject matter expert. You start to get afraid. What about my business? What's happening? What am I going to do? And then, oh my gosh, we're in cyber warfare. So thank you, Candace, for bringing your God to office hours today.
Beautiful. And I think, the application of meaning is my takeaway of the day. All three people present an opportunity to give different meaning. And when we evoke fear, which you can see, especially in the first two guests, that it absolutely, especially for entrepreneurs, evokes it, that we are given the gift, and the gift is that we are able and capable of giving meaning to everything we see, and we have to be very conscious about the meaning that we're applying to things. And Sean and I have fun with some close people in our lives when they have a completely different meaning to things. And I may be married to somebody that has a completely different meaning to things than I do at times. And it's, being able to appreciate that it's okay that people are applying a different meaning to what we see, as long as we can appreciate the meaning that they do, not separate the meaning. And so I appreciate both of you and the meaning you give our friendship, and of course this show. We have been blessed to be doing this for years with thousands and thousands of people who give different meanings to different things, and it will help to dissolve and dissipate, and hopefully even someday allow fear to disappear and shorten that distance of resistance with the wisdom that we share here on Office Hours, and as Sean purposefully and so eloquently pointed out, our faith. So may your wisdom and faith shorten the distance of resistance, apply your why, and give meaning to everything you see aligned with your divine direction. It is a path to happiness. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. Tell me what color you're wearing next week, Sean, and I will get glasses.
Red.
Red. Okay, perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Incredible Bart Berkey. He's an incredible advisor, coach, speaker, and an amazing entrepreneur as well. Has a great history in hospitality. Look out, follow him, hire him. You will not be disappointed. Same to say about Dr. Sean Dill. Go to Sean at adaptopreneur.com. He's my best friend, and that's why I give him shit. Love you, brother. Oh, by the way, it was 6 o'clock here, not 5 o'clock.
It was 6, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's almost 5 o'clock here in California. We are 80 degrees. We love you. Have fun, you guys. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Right on. This is why I show up to Office Hours for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of episodes, almost 1,000 episodes, because we got the best people and the best ideas to help people unite. Appreciating everything in you. Let's real quickly, if you want to join me, let me just go through the car wash. That means meetups, holding courts, interviews, speeches, masterminds, variety of things. We're going to be in LA, then Orange County, then Las Vegas, season 10 of Office Hours. New York City, many events in New York City, New Jersey, vice versa. Phoenix, the Masters Mastermind, I want to point out for the special. Then the professional athlete community in another event in Phoenix, and then back to SoFi Stadium for an incredible mastermind. All of these include car washes, which is interviews, speeches, meetups, holding courts, masterminds, all of the above. I appreciate everyone. If you want to join us and stay informed and invited, 949-298-2905. 949-298-2905 if you want to be invited and informed. Or you can email me. If you have bought Don't Do Business with Dicks, buy another. Share it with a friend, buy another. If you buy one, let me know. You don't have to prove it to me. I'll send you the rest of my books, sign them, send them to you. Pay for shipping and the book. All right? Just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. But always remember to be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Hit it, Gigi.